Needless to say, once again, Konner was outstanding. Marvelous job. Excuse me. And we played pretty good baseball again. I mean, it's, you get timely hitting, you get Rob Refsnyder getting us a little bit of a start, and, taking probably a little bit of the anxiety off by being up 2-0. But you never feel comfortable with Ray's club, to be real honest. Even going to the last inning, you always, at least me, they may not feel this way, but at least me going in, you just, you've got to make good pitches and do the right things, or they're going to take advantage of it. So obviously a good ball game for us, and hopefully we can put another one together tomorrow. And he knows this. I mean, he went through a little bit of a stretch early in the season where he just wasn't throwing strikes. He has tremendous arm side sink. He has a really good changeup with arm side sink as well. So when he throws strikes, he gets a lot of swing throughs. He also gets a lot of ground balls. He gets a lot of that. They just don't square him up very easily when he's throwing strikes. Again, pitching in this park, I think, is conducive to what he does, because he's had to do it at High Corbett all season. And again, you really are very thankful when a young guy gets better as the season goes on, which is what he's done. I mean, there were a couple days early in the season where you would have never said this would be occurring right now. He's got 3 complete games in his last 3 starts in postseason. That's pretty impressive.
The wind was blowing out, so that helped a little bit. But I forgot what the count was. I know it was 2 strikes. It's fastball outside, so just wanted to put a good swing on it. I knew if we got the team on the board right there, the guy on second base, it was gonna, like Lopez said, kind of settle the team down, so we could just go out and play good baseball. I was just fortunate enough to run into it. Sometimes when you close your eyes and swing really hard, good things happen.
I can't say enough about my defense tonight. They really picked me up in some big situations. Chewy in the first inning with that double play, which could have prevented a really big inning. And then Rob right there, getting that first out at third. It's huge, knowing that you can pitch to contact with this defense behind you.
Just the way Wade was pitching, obviously there's a little effect. It takes him out of a big inning, but the way he pitches and the way he's been pitching, I'd feel safe even allowing those 2 runners to get on, because he's done such a tremendous job, and Wade just did real good. And I don't think that play would have mattered too much, because he's just spot on. He don't let things like that affect him as many other pitchers might. He has a real hard head, and he understands that things are going to happen, so he just keeps attacking the zone, and it's real easy to play defense behind him.
Were you kind of thinking you were just going to be aggressive on that play from the get-go? And Alex, it looked like Robert was really excited after that home run. And did that kind of energize the dugout, you think?
I was actually really surprised Matthews decided to take the extra base. The ball was hit relatively hard through the hole, and when Konner throws, I play especially hard, but I play probably the hardest out of any pitchers, because I know what Konner's been through. He's arguably the strongest kid on our team. If you guys realize what Konner's the adversity he's gone through, so I came through that ball real hard, and I really wasn't expecting Matthews to go, but thought he kind of hesitated, so I decided to let it rip. But if you throw the ball anywhere close to Seth, he's got hands of apes, so it was pretty easy. Just get it close to Seth, and he put a really good tag on it, and it was a big momentum shift for us.
We talked about after the ball game. I thought we had a couple opportunities where we didn't cash in. I said I thought it was about a grade of B. And I'm not, again, South Carolina's a phenomenally good program, but if we do what we grade ourselves out based off of what we're trying to accomplish. We didn't sacrifice at one time. We had bases loaded and went double play, which goes against our teaching philosophies. A lot of that has to do with the people on the other side of the field too. I mean, South Carolina's made good pitches when they had to in situations, but not to be greedy, but I would hope that our guys would always strive for the standards that they've established in practice and the things they're trying to do. Again, South Carolina's made good pitches. I mean, and beat us in those situations. But again, I've grown to know that don't ever be too proud to take a W. So I mean, we're very thankful for the win. But you're right. There were some things that we did poorly at times that we've got to do a better job against an opponent like South Carolina. No jitters whatsoever. In fact, after batting practice, we go up in the clubhouse, and I'm in the kitchen going through I had jitters. I know what they're going to talk about. I was going through the opposing hitters, my pitching plan and what have you, and all the rest. And God only knows what they were doing, but it was the loudest, goofiest group of young athletes I've been around in about 30 years. What were you guys doing in there?
No comment.
Yeah, they were playing some goofy game. I still don't. I mean, I sat there and went, "Wow, these guys are kind of loose tonight." So I just think it's when you score in postseason, it just feels good to be up than versus chasing runs. It's postseason. But no, I to be very candid with you, I have no clue what they were doing in that clubhouse. But I was in the kitchen, and I at one moment I thought, my God, what are they doing? I mean, there was monkey noises and there's all kinds of. It sounded like a zoo, to be real honest with you. Yeah, well, so I don't think there were any jitters, to be honest with you. I think it was just, again, it's good to be on top. It's good to be on top of a very good opponent when you're, getting into the second inning.
Well, my past few starts, I've had the same mentality, just throw strikes and try to get ground balls. I'm not going to have a lot of strikeouts, obviously, but I think that works to my advantage, lets me get deep into games because my pitch count's lower. And I just tried to work ahead of guys. I knew that they were a pretty aggressive team, and they were going to try to take the extra base, so I tried to work ahead and get in counts that were favorable to me.
When Robert hit the home run, both hitters, if you can talk about if that did take away whatever nervousness or whatever there might have been remaining.
When Rob hit that home run, to be honest, I didn't think it was going to go out. I thought it was going to burn the outfielder, of course, because he crushed it. He has really good power, and he crushed it. So when that went over, I think I don't think we were nervous or we didn't have any anxiety or anything. But when you get ahead in the first inning against an opponent like that who's been here 2 years in a row, this is their third. And anytime you get ahead of a team, to be honest, you get more relieved. You just kind of get settled in a lot faster than you would as opposed to being a tie game going into the ninth or chasing one or two, like Coach said earlier. So I think Rob Refsnyder's home run definitely helped us out a lot, and it led us to get this victory tonight.
Anytime you can get a little bit of lead for Konner, because I can't remember the last time we got a lead for Konner. He didn't give it up or anything. So that helped Konner's confidence, I'm sure, getting a little runs and help the team's confidence just because South Carolina's two-time defending champ, and anytime you can get ahead of, a team like that, and because you're going to need every run against them. I mean, Konner's outing at UCLA was just brilliant. It was a masterpiece, and I was totally anticipating for him to, throw strikes and hopefully, kind of do a double of that, and he did. So anytime, Konner or Kurt or any of our starters, Ferris, who you might see, anytime you can get a lead from, you're gonna be in a good place because they pitch to contact. They really know that, I don't think there's a better left side of the infield than Alex and Seth over at third and short. So that must be pretty relieving for Konner and Kurt to see, a guy like Joey and another center fielder who plays left field, Johnny, and things like that. So our team complements each other well, and everybody kind of knows their role. So anytime you can get a lead for Konner and any of the pitchers, I'm sure both ends of the spectrum feel pretty good about it.
Well, what he said is just pretty much anytime you get a lead for these guys, you know it's going to be a close game. And but as hitters, as our offense, we don't get away from our plan. We're still trying to get as many runs as we can, as many runs as they're going to give us, because you never know with this game. Anything could happen. You might be up 10-0 going into the ninth, and somehow something happens. Someone makes an error, something. They're back in the game 10-9, but. We stick to our game plan. We try to stay short on top, make sure we're still as aggressive as we were in the first inning, to kind of push and stretch the defense as much as possible.
We've talked about one in a row for 6 weeks now, and really that's all we ever talk about. One in a row, just play good baseball tonight and show up tomorrow and play good baseball tomorrow. I mean, and again, we've had to do that. Like I said, their immediate goal is win the pack, and when we got beat by Oregon with I think there were 3 weeks left in conference. We talked about, hey, I guess, as I've told them, I don't know if you can win 25 games in a row, but I've seen you win one in a row. I mean, I've seen you play good baseball tonight. So let's just go one. Tonight's over. I mean, it's over. It's done with. You got to come out tomorrow and play good baseball. And we understand where we're at. I mean, these guys understand who they're playing. They understand. It's not a tournament somewhere in South Dakota. They understand what they're doing. So they just got to play good baseball again.